Hello there, I am Pooja. Welcome you to my channel Periodic Chemistry. This video is on one of the important topic from Maharashtra State Board 12th Standard Chemistry. So let's start. You all must be familiar with these devices. This battery, it is used in many of the electrical appliances in day-to-day life. Digital calculator, which is used to make our calculations easy. This is a machine which we can see at every traffic signal. The traffic police use this to detect the consumption of an alcohol by any person, and very useful to avoid the accidents. Here an old utensil is converted into a new one by electroplating it with some of the chemical on it or some of the metal on it. LED watches probably everyone is using today. This machine is used to detect the sugar level in the diabetics patients. So what is common in this all the devices? Yes, the chemistry behind it. The chemistry on basis of which these devices work is nothing but electrochemistry. So now we have a good reason to study this topic as it has a wide variety of applications. Let us quickly go the terms and definitions to remember. These are the basic concepts which will be useful to understand the new concepts which will be coming forth in this topic. Electrochemistry is a branch of physical chemistry concerned with the interconvergence of chemical and electric energy. Whenever there is a change in electric energy to chemical energy or chemical energy to electric energy, that is nothing but electrochemistry. Redox reactions, which you all must have gone through in 11th standard. These reactions involve oxidation and reduction processes taking place simultaneously, and electrochemistry redox reaction form the basis of this. Conduction and resistance. Conduction is a flow of electricity, while resistance is opposition to this flow. Therefore, these two terms are totally opposite to each other. Now let us study deeply what is electric conduction. It is divided in two parts: metallic conduction and electrolytic or ionic conduction. In metallic conduction, there is direct flow of electrons, while in electrolytic conduction, there is a charge transfer by the movement of the ions. So in metallic conduction, there is only the flow of electrons. There is no transfer of matter. While in electrolytic conduction, there is actual transfer of matter. So this is the main difference between metallic conductor and electrolytic conduction. Further, this gives rise to two new terms: electrolytes and non-electrolytes. So electrolytes are those substances which completely dissociate in aqueous solution, which means when dissolved in water. Non-electrolytes are those which do not dissociate at all. So because they dissociate, that means they are producing more and more ions, and therefore their conductivity is much more greater than the conductivity of water. While non-electrolytes, their conductivity is nearly equal to that of water. So the substances which can dissociate like HCl, NaOH, KCl are the examples of electrolytes, while sucrose and urea, which cannot dissociate in aqueous solution, are non-electrolytes. Further, electrolytes are of two types: strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. The strong electrolytes are those which almost completely dissociate, while weak electrolytes dissociate to a very smaller extent. So because of the complete dissociation, they show high conductivity, while weak electrolytes show low conductivity. So all the strong acids and bases and ionic salts are the examples of strong electrolyte. So for example, HCl and NaOH. And the weak electrolytes are those which are weak acids and bases. For example, acetic acid. Let us go through the formulas that will be used in the numericals from this topic. Let us do a comparative study so that we can easily memorize the formula. First is conductance and resistance. As these terms are totally opposite, its formula and the unit are going to be totally opposite as well. So resistance is denoted by capital R, conductance is denoted by capital G. Resistance is equal to electrode potential divided by the current, and electrode potential has unit volt and current has unit ampere, which is equal to volt per ampere, that is nothing but ohm. And conductance is opposite of resistance, inversely proportional to resistance. So conductance is equal to 1 upon R, and its unit will be equal to ohm inverse, that is equal to Siemens, denoted by capital S. Further, this is giving rise to two new terms, conductivity and resistivity. Conductance is directly proportional to the area of cross section and inversely proportional to the length of the conductor, and resistance is directly proportional to the length and inversely proportional to the area of cross section of that conductor. So to balance these equations, we are having these two proportionality constant, capital K and rho. Capital K is conductivity and rho is resistivity. So whenever the area of cross section and the length are going to be unit 1, that time conductance will be equal to conductivity and resistance will be equal to resistivity. So in definition we can write that conductivity is an electrical conductance of a conductor of unit length and unit cross section area. Same applies to the resistivity. Unit of conductivity will be per ohm per meter, and it will be opposite for resistivity, ohm meters. These conductance cannot be used to calculate or to compare the conductivities of the solutions which are having same concentrations. So as the concentration terms are not used in this formula, so it gives rise to a new formula or new term, that is molar conductivity. So conductivity of a solution which is 1 mole of electrolyte and it is placed in between the two parallel electrodes 1 centimeter apart is nothing but molar conductivity. So its unit is Siemens meter square per mole. Here the concentration is taken into account. The relationship between this molar conductivity and the conductivity is given by this formula. Molar conductivity is equal to 1000 into K divided by C. K is conductivity and C is the concentration. Unit for 1000 is centimeter cube per liter, which we will be seeing ahead. Next, this is for the weak electrolytes, the degree of dissociation and dissociation constant. Degree of dissociation is equal to molar conductivity at concentration C divided by molar conductivity at 0 concentrations. The subscripts 0 is at 0 concentration. It suggests that it is taken at 0 concentration, and from this degree of dissociation and the concentration of weak electrolyte, we can find its dissociation constant. Most likely this is supposed to be appear in MCQs and less likely in numerical part. Next is a Kohlrausch law, which states that at infinite dilution, each ion migrates independent of co-ion and contributes to total molar conductivity of an electrolyte, irrespective of the nature of other ion to which it is associated. So what does this mean? That each ion or each cation is equally going to contribute to the total molar conductivity. So formula for this is molar conductivity at 0 concentration is equal to n plus lambda plus at 0 concentration plus n minus lambda minus at 0 concentrations. That is, lambda plus or lambda minus is nothing but molar conductivities of the anion and cations, and n plus and n minus is the number of the anions and cations. Plus is for cation and negative is for anion. Types of numericals. First type is calculating molar conductivity, conductivity or concentration. This all can be calculated using one formula. This is a try this example from the textbook itself. Given terms are molar conductivity, conductivity and temperature. We need to find concentration of silver nitrate. Formula is molar conductivity, it is equal to 1000 into K divided by the concentration. First, I have put the given values and the units in the formula itself. This is an easy practice so that we can find the quantity, the unit of the desired quantity, which is concentration. After rearranging this equation, I get concentration to the left hand side. The unit for 1000 will be centimeter cube per liter as it is a volume. Now we will cancel the units. Ohm inverse gets cancelled out and centimeter cube as well gets cancelled out. So we are left with 0.02 mole per liter. After doing the math, we get 0.02 mole per liter, and mole per liter is the molarity. So our concentration of silver nitrate solution is 0.02 molar. This is a similar example, but here ratios are given. Ratio of concentration and ratio of conductivity. We need to find ratio of molar conductivity. I have taken ratio of concentration as C1 by C2 and ratio of conductivity as K1 by K2. The formula is going to be the same, but we need to rearrange it. First of all, I will write the formulas for each molar conductivity as it is. So we can see that 1000 gets cancelled out, and we are left with this formula K1 by K2 into C2 by C1. So because this C2 by C1 has got reversed, this value 0.4 will also get reversed. So after plugging the values, the ratios, doing the maths, we get answer ratio of molar conductivities as 0.54, which is option A. Next one is the conversion of units. This is from the MCQ part, third MCQ. So after looking at the options, we can see that mole inverse is kept as it is and Siemens or meter square is to be converted. So first of all, as we know, Siemens is equal to Ohm inverse. So I will replace the Siemens in the unit by Ohm inverse. Then I can convert this meter square into centimeter. So what we can do is we can take meter square at the denominator so that this meter square gets cancelled and we are left out with the centimeter square. And 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So I have taken this in the numerator part. So meter square gets cancelled out, and what is remaining is Ohm inverse 10 raised to 4 centimeter square mole inverse, which is the option B. These type of examples are come under Kohlrausch law. So here the expression to represent the molar conductivity of Al2SO4 thrice is asked. So first we will write the formula and the number of atoms in it. This is called a crisscross method. So Al atoms are 2 and SO4 polyatomic atoms are 3. So what I will do is just crisscross these atoms as the charges. SO4 is anion and Al plus is cation. So plus 3 charge will be for Al and minus 2 charge will be for SO4, because SO4 is an anion and Al is a cation. Because as we know, aluminium is a metal, so it has a tendency to acquire positive charge. And therefore correct option will be B, that is 2 Al plus 3 cations and 3 SO4 2 minus ions. This is a very easy method to solve for the compounds which have different number of atoms in it. This is another type of numerical which come under the Kohlrausch law. Here 3 values of molar conductivities are given for 3 different compounds, HCl, KCl and CH2ClOOK. And we need to find molar conductivity of CH2ClOOK, OOH. So what we need to do is manipulate in such a way that after addition or subtraction, we need to get this desired compound, that is CH2ClOOH. After writing these compounds into its respective ions, Cl minus K plus will get cancelled out, because I have taken KCl, I have subtracted this KCl. So we are left with H plus and CH2ClOO minus. That is nothing but our desired compound. So to find the concentration of CH2ClOOH, I will add the molar concentration of HCl minus the molar conductivity of KCl plus the molar conductivity of CH2ClOOK, and we get our final answer 3.894 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. So this was all about this part of electrochemistry. For the further parts, you can watch my other videos. Please give your feedback so that I can improve myself and I can come up with new videos like this. Till then, thank you and stay safe.